Welcome to Glove Talk, your weekly news and boxing. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy the video, make sure to hit the like button. With that said, let's get into the fight. Okay, so we have Devin Haney versus Gamboa. I think this fight, some people aren't excited about it, some people are. For me, I'm excited to see how this all goes. Let me know how you guys feel about this fight down in the comments below. Who do you have winning? How do you have them winning? All that good stuff. So first, let's sit back and talk about the physical attributes of both guys and look at them a little bit and kind of compare them. So age obviously is a big difference here. Gamboa is close to 39 years old. Devin Haney is just about to turn 22 years old. That's a big difference, obviously, with this fight. But that aside, let's look at the height difference is almost 3 inches different here. And the reach is 6 inches different. That is huge. It is a huge difference going into this fight. The height, I'm not too concerned about. I've seen Gamboa fight taller guys. It's the reach that's really going to be interesting for this fight. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the other factors here. Let's talk about power. Gamboa, his KO percentage is 54%, close to 55%, and Devin Haney's is 62.5%. They are very close in KO percentages. They're not crazy different, but there is a big difference here though. Devin Haney's are very recent. Gamboa hasn't had a KO since he had the Rocky Martinez KO, I believe last year. But before that, he has not had a TKO or a KO since I believe 2014. Before the Rocky Martinez fight, he basically hasn't had a KO in 5-6 years. So that's a big deal. To me, that shows that, he had a lot of KOs early in his career and he's not really producing those anymore. That tells me I'm not as worried about him testing really Devin Haney's chin on this fight. I just don't see it happening. Talking about chins now, let's talk about Gamboa's chin. Gamboa has been down. He does get knocked down, but he doesn't get knocked out very easily. He's a tough guy. It took Terrence Crawford until the 9th round to take him out, and it took Tank, who we just saw blast out Leo Santa Cruz last weekend with a brutal uppercut, until the 12th round. Gamboa will be knocked down, but getting him out of there, he's not an easy target. Granted, the older you get, your chin gets a little bit weaker, so it'll be interesting to see. But we saw him take big shots from Tank, so that tells me this is not going to be an easy target for Haney, in my opinion, looking at this. Okay, so let's now talk a little bit more about this fight overall. I'm going to keep this a fairly simple and short video because prediction wise, I don't think it's that crazy prediction wise or that hard to make a prediction for this fight. For me, I'm going to have Devin Haney winning this, and I think he's going to win it by points. I think it's going to be a unanimous decision for him. I think at the beginning, we're going to see him maybe a little bit nervous. We're going to see Gamboa kind of a little bit more cool, calm, collected, because like I said, he's been in there with guys like Terrence Crawford, so this probably doesn't phase him as much. I think we're going to see Gamboa test Devin Haney a little bit. I think Devin Haney's going to get that motor running though, and once he does, I expect him to take over the fight probably somewhere in the middle, and then just be effective throughout. I just think that reach is a huge advantage for him, and I think TKO wise or KO wise, I think Gamboa is a really tough cookie. I mean, let's not forget he went 12 rounds with Tank with a torn Achilles. I mean, this guy is a very tough opponent in that sense. So I don't see any quit in this guy. I think that I feel comfortable with Devin Haney winning, but I don't see a knockout per se. I'm just not seeing that. I'm not saying that Devin Haney doesn't have good power. I'm just saying for this guy, I just don't see it yet. And mind you, once Devin Haney gets a little bit older, like I said, he's just about to turn 22 years old. He's going to get that man strength. And once he gets a little bit stronger, fills out a little bit more, and probably when he stops having to cut as much weight, when he starts going up to, I definitely see Devin Haney closer to the welterweight division at some point, certainly at 140. Once he starts going up in weight, I bet you that power is really going to fill out even better. So that's what I'm excited. That's what I'm expecting. But I do want to bring up one little thing right here at the end, and that's really talking about what this fight means for Devin Haney. this is a big fight in a certain way, because this is going to be something people look at and compare him to Tank, obviously, because it's a similar opponent. And last weekend we saw what Tank did against his toughest opponent. Arguably, you could say Pedraza. I would say Leo Santa Cruz is also up there, you know, for opponents for Tank. So this is a big deal. If Devin Haney goes in there and struggles, people are not going to be impressed with him, and he is going to look bad, because we just had other guys in the same weight class. I mean, we just had Lopez beat Lomachenko. We have Ryan Garcia going against Luke Campbell, which is a very good fight. We have, you know, like I said, Tank and Leo Santa Cruz fight, and we just saw Tank perform. We need to see where Devin Haney is. I have a lot of confidence in him. I'm very high on this kid. I think he has a lot of skills. But if he struggles, people are going to start asking questions a little bit, even though he's only 22 years old. So I'm very curious to see how Devin Haney does in this fight. I'm very optimistic for him in his future. And overall, I'm pretty excited to see this fight. Hopefully you guys are too. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, how you see it going. And with that said, we'll talk to you later. Thanks.